Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Imran, and I'm going to build a computer right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to start by taking the cover to the case off.
Uh-huh. You telling him what you bought, what you're going to make it on?
Yeah, we bought our case here, which is it's a mid tower with 230 watt power supply, and we bought a motherboard right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an iWell SCSI motherboard, SCSI and ID.
Okay.
And we bought a Diamond Stealth 3D video card with 4 megs of VRAM.
Mm-hmm.
We bought a Creative Labs All-64 Discovery Kit right here.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a CD-ROM and sound card and speakers and software and all that.
When you put it all together, what's going to be your computer specification?
It's going to be a 200 megahertz AMD K6 processor with MMX technology and 64 megabytes of RAM. Here's our brand new keyboard.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
And, oh, you know what? We have the modem in the car. Oh wait, I don't know. I don't know where we put that. We also bought a 56 kilobyte per second external modem by US Robotics, and we'll use that to connect to the internet and other things like that.
So what's the steps you're going to take first?
Oh, I'm going to continue taking the cover off right now.
Okay.
I'm just going to have to remove all the screws
Okay.
off of here,
Okay.
and that'll give me access to the inside.
Okay. Keep doing some conversation on it.
Alright. Once I open up the whole thing, I'll install the motherboard and then put all the cards in on side it. The video card and sound card. I think that's all of them. Alright. Right over here. And inside here, we have the power supply right here, and then all the drive bays. And I'll have to lay this on its
What
side.
do you want to do with this America Online disc?
Leave it there.
Leave it here.
Yes, leave it there.
It's right by the iron that has water in it. I don't think it's.
It doesn't matter. It's a disc I'm going to destroy anyway. Alright. So we move all the wires out of the way.
Where you go?
This shot is going to be here.
Oh God, help me!
That's okay.
I think I'm gonna fall.
Mommy.
You know, there's just too much
Hey,
today.
hey,
and
hey.
Doing it right
all
now.
these days. What?
I'm recording right now.
What's that? Did you tell me?
Yes. You don't see that?
You never told me.
Oh, okay, I'm going to open up, if you can focus in over here, Danny.
No. Just
No?
put it on
Okay.
the table there. Everything is on the table. Okay.
And this is going to be our motherboard inside here.
Do you want to turn on the light from the top?
Yeah.
Good. Come on.
Okay, this is our motherboard right here.
It's too far. Lay it back.
And this is the main part of the computer.
Too close.
Right here is the RAM slots, processor slots, 16-bit ISA slots, PCI slots, controllers, and the BIOS chip, and the DIMM sockets. And then, in addition, we have each here.
Imran. Stay in this distance here.
32 megabyte SIM slots or cards. each holds 32 megabytes of RAM, and that'll help speed up applications and everything like that. And then we have the processor, which is an AMD K6 200 megahertz MMX processor, and
You can see the
see all the
from distance.
all the pins on it. Stand over there and make sure I'm showing everything right. This does all the processing of the entire computer. This is the main unit that does all the calculations and everything.
It's called brain.
It's basically the brain of the computer, and you can see it. It's a very intricate part. It has so many pins on it. If you look at it either way, that has many pins on it. And I'll start by putting the processor into the motherboard. Stand over there and watch it. And well, it only goes in one way. And you lift this up here.
Why don't you put it over here and do it?
Because then you can't see it.
Yeah, you can see it from here.
You can't. And it goes in this way.
You just pay attention to that one.
Snaps in there. And that goes down and it locks that in. And then we'll install the RAM right here. Starting with the second slot, otherwise you can't get it in. You start with the first one. And that just clicks in. Okay, now, next part, if I can find it, is the cooling fan that I'm going to snap right over the processor, because when something, the processor has so many different parts in it, and they're so close together that they can, and with all that electricity running through them, they can get pretty hot. So you have to put a cooling fan on them, which sits right above it,
Circuit.
and it has a little fan on it, and it spins, and it makes that whole section there cooler, and it'll prevent the processor from overheating, and in turn overheating can cause severe damage to the processor, including just completely messing it up, and it won't work after a while. And this snaps on there. Next,
So you can show this part. Yeah. What he did, he just has CPU processor. He put an extra cooling fan, which will be hooked up to the power here, right?
Yep. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this bay area here, and that'll let me set the motherboard on the inside.
So your motherboard is pretty much ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost. And then I just have to install the cards onto it.
I can do it from this side. Go ahead. Go this way or this way, right?
So there. Alright.
This is the main power transformer which supplies to the motherboard, and 3.5 drive, hard drive, and CD-ROM.
Alright, I'm gonna hold this on its side here and set the motherboard on the inside of it. I don't know how to mount it.
You don't know how to mount it?
This goes in.
Can I start with him?
Set this in here. I think I do. I know. There's no installation.
No.
Alright.
Could you stop them for a second? Stop it or pause. Okay.
I think you should push stop.
Oh,
There's safety precautions, right?
second. It's gonna take a long time. Do this.
Okay. Alright. We're mounting the motherboard right now on insulation pads. They're little small things. Look like this. And this part right here goes up into a hole in the motherboard, and then we set the motherboard in and slide it in, and this goes between two little slots, and then it fits like that.
But that makes it insulation, so it won't short it out your board. And when you're assembling that, you have to be very cautious about it. Make sure you don't have a static electricity, which can produce walking on the carpet, can short it out your whole, can destroy your motherboard or CPU both.
It's a very electrostatic sensitive device. There's like 6 or 8 of these. Okay, about 6.
This is why they use a rest grounding procedure. We don't have that right now. How many of them are on?
6.
6 gonna hold it?
There's only 6 of these. Now we have to find out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Okay, one more time.
There's one left. And where does that go? I think it's fine.
This is called motherboard. Has all the memory in it,
I already said that.
and Imran just put together little insulated legs, which can hold the board from the sheet metal away, so it won't give a chance of shock or shortages.
Wait, which way is this going? Oh, it goes this way.
So here he's gonna put that one in.
Yes. That was a 200.
All in.
Yeah. Now there should be some mounting here. Oh, okay, it screws in like that. Yeah, okay. Let's put on, a bunch of screws now. Now, once we have the insulation won't hold it keeps the motherboard a safe distance away from the metal, but that doesn't hold it there. We have to put in more screws to hold it in place. And then we'll go 1 here.
Yeah, you can bring a tea here, no problem.
Next to PCI slot 1.
He doesn't want to walk in front of the camera.
Here comes my tea.
Service with a smile.
Yeah. Service with a smile. Huh? Okay. चाय चाहिए कौन सी जनाब लिप्टन उम्दा है लिप्टन पीजिए
What if Imran wanted to sell that? He's like, you know what I want? Let me tell you how that. Ew.
that's also no
Ew.
drinking around the unit.
Yeah. If a liquid gets on it, it can possibly short out the circuit or do some very, very bad damage to it. Or just because the parts inside the chip are
No, I think you missed one thing.
not done.
On the board, this washer is supposed to go on top.
Water. Oh, there's washers there? What washers?
This red one, like this. Only 2, right?
There's 2. There's another one here. 3.
We have a whole bunch of washers here, 3, 4 washers here, which you can use it. You sure you want to use this kind of screws, or you want to hold it with this one here?
Oh no, these are for these are different kind of screw. These hold the other ones inside them.
I think you'll be better off using those little washers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no chance of shorting out.
if I would have left the just the plain metal screw on there, it could have possibly shorted out the circuit while it's on, or scratched through one of the circuits and made the whole motherboard inoperable.
You just drive it up there.
One here.
This is too much.
It's kind of bending it.
Is it alright if the motherboard is bent a little bit?
No, not supposed to.
Curved.
Huh?
It's curved. It's the only way it really fits.
No, not that was that tight.
It's alright.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, it's no different.
Huh?
It's the same.
No, I want you to loosen it a little bit.
Alright, that's easy.
So it can crack.
Yeah. Or can you bend one of the metal circuits on there?
Hmm?
You can bend a metal circuit on there and make that. That's fine. You can put another washer on the screw.
It's just same thing. I'm doing it when I was trying to do anything and my father was trying to help me with putting washers and screws. I'm doing the same thing with Imran. Yeah.
I think I only need 3.
No, I think you need 4.
I don't think there's a 4th slot. And does that fit? I don't think it's gonna fit in. That's what I was thinking. If 2 screws will hold it, that'll be fine. That should hold it. Yeah, it's fine.
That's good. Alright, we have the board mounted. Can I stop the tape for a second? While I-
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean the little mess I made up on the table.
Just pause.
Alright, now, here's the power slot for the motherboard right here. And there's a special power supply just for the motherboard. And it is right here. These insert in only one way.
How are you sure that it's going to go?
It'll only go one way, so.
You have 3 units there?
Hmm? 2.
Okay. Okay. So now we give the power to the motherboard,
Yeah.
right?
So the motherboard is all set,
Okay.
almost.
Now we need to put a power supply to the fan. Huh? What?
Okay. Now I'm just gonna hook the power supply into the fan, and just so the fan is designed specially so that it doesn't take up its own power source cable, because there's only a limited amount of them. So what it does, the power source goes in here, and it powers the fan, and it powers another device. So we will start by plugging the fan
You're in front of the camera.
into one of these.
This procedure
Yeah.
says on it?
Oh, they're all the same. Okay, we have several of these here, so I'll use this one, I think.
But there are some more jacks here, which is this turbo. Where are they gonna go all? Turbo lights.
Oh, they go somewhere on the motherboard.
Yeah.
They all hook into something.
How are you gonna determine that one, that part?
Look for it. I've never. I know it's somewhere on there. I know it all hooks into. The hard drive light
Okay.
plugs into the IDE controller. I know that.
let's go get that, where's your hard drive?
Just a second. The hard drive is it's in there. The silver one.
Okay, now you can tell them about what's that and how
Alright,
many.
well, we have a hard drive here made by the Maxtor company. And it's a 4 gigabyte hard drive, which is 4,000 megabytes, which also translates into 4,000 kilobytes and 4 trillion bytes.
4 trillion bytes, yeah.
Multiply that by 8. And that's 8 trillion bits that it holds, which is really useless information because nothing is really measured by that anymore. But it's good to have on hand.
This is 3.5 inch, you know. It's amazing what science come up to. That little thing can hold so much memory. 8 trillion files, if you store in how many rooms you need it?
What?
Store all the files.
Yeah.
Did you tell them?
What?
No, so
Yeah.
now we're gonna, next step is to install that hard drive, which
I'm trying to.
retains all the memory, whatever with the system we load on it, on the computer. It's how many? 4.2 gigabytes? 4 gigabytes. There's another drive, it's in same size, volume wise. It's up to 9 gigabytes.
9.1.
9.1 megabytes.
And
But that costs around like $1,000.
No, it's $1,400 for that unit.
How much?
1,400. Okay, now we need to hook our slot right here back on. So I need
The shield.
Yeah. Well, this is what holds it. Okay. Oh, is that a shot? Yeah. There's I got some wires in my line. It's kind of hard to get on. Hey, wait a second. Let's take an intermission with Graybo.
Cute! Let's make her dance.
Come on, Graybo. Come here. Come here.
Come here, Graybo.
Graybo.
Graybo. Are you on intermission?
Oh, there she goes.
There she is. Cute Graybo. Cute Graybo. Where's Amber? Run. See on the tape if you can see this. She's cute. No, you can see her.
Yes, I
Can
can.
you see me?
Hardly.
You do.
Just.
Cute. Meow.
Okay. I don't know.
Cute. Cute Graybo. Imran, you have to go. Where's Abby?
Okay.
Abby.
It says mounting screws. It says slide this on here. Okay.
Graybo is cute. Abby.
Oh, wait a second. Alright, I gotta take this back off. It's supposed to install all the drives before you put the.
You can pause it.
Huh.
Sorry, we're gonna have to.
There's no other day.
Yep. This is it.
You know? Summer, could stop that?
Okay.
No.
I just added another hard drive that my friend gave me right here. It's a 170 megabyte hard drive, and I add that into the additional 4 gigabytes that we have right here. So now I'm gonna add in a 3.5 floppy drive right here, and this will go in same way.
No. You need to aim that one because you need to open a bay there.
Oh,
The bay
yeah.
you can open it. The top,
Yeah.
you sure about it?
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna go?
That's as far as it goes.
The direction's correct on it?
Yeah. No, it's not. Never mind.
We have budget, you know.
I promise I'll work. I know how much I have to get this done. Tomorrow morning I have to be on the ball.
Okay, before you do the permanent connection, okay?
Tell me
Put
what
it on
time
the
it
place
is.
and see if that's correct or not,
Alright.
okay?
Okay, I'm
Hardware, everything from the video.
Yeah, we have to go, actually. Imran, we have to go.
बड़ा सारा एक्सपीरियंस पड़ा है so जान चुका है ना था इसका मतलब जान चुका है तो कोई मसला नहीं है वाली जान बड़ी
Because I don't have just the plain, I have the sweet stuff. I didn't want to give it too sweet a stuff.
Okay. And then I'll go to
Excuse me.
Okay.
Come on, Imran, we have to
so
leave.
much in the way. I know.
Come on. Okay, Imran, I'm going to be waiting for you downstairs.
Alright. I want to go to the super thing.
Sorry, I don't know what to do. This is a requirement, you know?
What? Go forward is done.
40 में से कितने 12 को कवर किए
You?
जी ये कोर्स को करती मैं बढ़िया फॉर्म तो दूसरा मेरा जिससे टिकट परचेज का बाबा बता नहीं सकता टिकट पड़ता है इंडिया में क्रेडिट कार्ड में बैठे हैं
You ask him for it?
ऐसे यहाँ से तो मैं निकाल गया था यहाँ से उसने कहा कि ये टिकट है इंश्योर मैं भी जस्ट बॉट इट इज टू आवर्स अगो मैं भी टिकट मैं रिजर्वेशन की पहला मेरे को निकाल दिया मैं बीमार हो रहा तो मैंने
Sit on the other end.
यहाँ देखा वहाँ पर वहाँ तक कि हमने उसने एक्सपेरिमेंट निकाल के देख लिया वहाँ तक जाने रहने तक वहाँ तक मेरा भी ये कंप्यूटर नंबर से बड़ा उसको निकाला दूसरे कंप्यूटर नंबर में रिलेशन करा के एयरपोर्ट पहुँचा ये टिकट से करने के लिए ये तो आईचो नहीं रहा है मैंने कहा ये नहीं आया रिलेशन कराया कंप्यूटर डाला उसको निकाला वहाँ से निकाला पासपोर्ट से
There we go. You are blocking your
Same.
वैसे तो मज़ा आ रहा लेकिन ये बात ये है शाम वो भी निकल गया फिर आगे वैसे पूरी की फटाफट ठीक है
I'm gonna mount this back on here since I have all the drives installed. Steady. Can you hold this?
And then you think
Yeah, I need your help here.
अच्छा
Don't forget us, Imran.
Alright. I will.
I'm waiting in the car.
Yeah, we need to press it. You know, first you screw this one, and then you have this.
ये आगे से चला गया अंदर.
हाँ, अब इसको टाइट नहीं कराया मैंने. पहले ये
कंप्यूटर और मॉनिटर वो वहाँ भेजते हैं पाकिस्तान. ये भेजते हैं पाकिस्तान.
किसको?
घर वालों को. टेलीफोन का खर्चा बचाएं.
सुनना नहीं.
यहाँ से स्क्रीन में वो है ना सैटेलाइट वाला जो चल रहा है आजकल. यहाँ पर कंप्यूटर ऑन किया, उसमें बात की, वहाँ पाकिस्तान में उन्होंने ऑन किया, उनसे बात कर ली.
अच्छा.
सामने बैठ के बात कर ली.
ये तो पता नहीं भैया. ये कब शुरू हुआ भाई?
हैं?
ये कब शुरू हुआ?
सब क्या हुआ है? आजकल यही चल रहा है इनके साथ.
We'll probably get away with putting 2 screws in there.
हमें नहीं पता, हम लेकर गए सारी चीज़ें, हमें नहीं पता था कि हम निकाल के ले आते.
Now you can put the third one too. And then slide and then tight. अभी मैं पी कर loosen it a little bit. Okay.
Ooh, shut on.
अगला स्क्रू जो है उसको
You can get a fresh together. Here we go. Here. Not tight.
Move forward just a little bit more.
That's it. Okay.
And that is some of the computer. And I have to leave.
Okay.
So
Make sure. Stop.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
you go to bed.
I'm going to install the CD-ROM.
Okay, who's close to the kitchen?
You just do it everything tomorrow,
Don't
man.
worry.
Okay?
This is the CD-ROM.
Could I just...
And it has a little port for remote control. I can't get it right now! And I'm just gonna put this in the top drive bay.
Some people can't even. I said no, I was gonna get you one. Where's Trace?
Cabbage rolls. Go, if you want cabbage rolls, go get some. Or we need to clean up. This is awful. What are your plans here?
Come on, think. We stopped it yesterday because we could not finish. It was very late. And
The
we
tape ended too.
started taking care of it today.
And it was kind of messy on the inside, so we had to open it back up, take everything out. Okay, now those are in. So what do I
If
put
you
in next?
keep your what do you call it, the unit up straight, it'll be better.
Keep the what up?
Upright position.
Nah, I won't be able to work on it. Okay, next I'm gonna put in some cards. Or the little cable.
Tell them about the card.
Oh, okay, this right here is the printer cable, I think. Wait a second, hold on. No. Just a second, I have to find which is which. Yeah, this is the printer cable right here. This is the printer cable, and this is the scanner cable. Just a second, I'm gonna confuse you. This is printer. This is modem. But does the modem fit into that? Scanner here, so I'm gonna put the scanner on COM 2.
What the scanner does?
The scanner just takes you can put a piece of paper on a scanner and it will pass a laser type thing over it, and it reads it and it shows the paper on the screen.
Laser rays, right?
Yeah.
What is laser type?
Huh? A laser type ray.
Laser is a ray.
Well, it's not a laser. It's a type of laser, something like that. Okay, the next one. This should be the modem right here. This is gonna go.
Why do you hook up modem? What do you use the modem?
You can access the internet, which is a service which a lot of people are hooked onto, and they can talk to each other and stuff over their computers. And also, you can just call someone, you can send them files, you can do all kinds of stuff with them. You can even look up reference on other things with that. Okay, now that takes care of those. I'm gonna hook in the video card, which is here. This is the video card.
Okay.
And this goes. Uh-oh, I did the wrong thing. I'll put these in here. Okay, go ahead. That's getting confusing. What I did, there's 3 PCI slots, and they're in a certain place, and the card has to go into them. And what I did, I didn't leave an open slot where the card had to go, so I wouldn't have access to it.
So now you can emphasize how much important it is to organize what you need to do first, right? So you don't have to keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Once you plan on doing things, then it falls into place. Planning is a very key element here.
And if you don't plan things right, then your system's not going to work.
Yeah. Second, you have to you spend twice as labor, which is not a good thing to do.
And sometimes, if you mess up, you have to go back and do it all over again, and that's not fun.
Well, that's what we just did, because the quality of workmanship you did on the wires, I was not very pleased with that. Okay.
Alright, let's hope that
So
stays.
you need to take it apart, and and you have to take the bay out and go through the more extensive work.
The purpose of making it neat is so that you can tell what's going on inside the computer. If you have a problem with something inside the computer and it's all a mess, you're not gonna know. Even if you know what's going on, you're gonna have to take everything else out just so you can get to the problem.
Yeah.
And that isn't fun either. Alright.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10" now.
5'10".
Now, because of the way this is arranged, this is gonna
I
have
thought
to
it was
go
5'10" and a half.
No, they
No?
measured me yesterday.
Okay. 5'10".
Okay, I have a question, Daddy. Should I leave the cables going over here into this slot,
No.
or should I move this into PCI slot number 4?
Move it to the PCA slot so you won't have a cable mess
Okay.
across the board.
You never know, it might even fit better. Parts made for computers aren't always accurate. and this card that we have is not exactly accurate with the motherboard. They don't fit together exactly right.
And that's one reason when I shop for any electronic components or any instrument, I make sure I would not buy anything assembled in China, Taiwan. There's not being any prejudice about things, but the quality of workmanship and the dies, because they're produced in a very mass quantity, that makes a whole lot difference, right?
And this is not going in.
Let me tell you one thing, when you put a computer together, it's a very important thing that first you go ahead and figure out
Yeah.
what you want to accomplish. Okay? From that point on, you build on that one. You build on that one means buying a case, a tower. Maybe you bought too big a tower that you don't have space to put it, right?
Yeah, that's why we had to measure
Okay.
the
Then
space that we had.
what do you want to accomplish with the whole unit? In Imran's case, what did you want to accomplish, Imran, with that?
I'm going to program in the C++ language, and I'm going to use it for homework too.
Okay.
Because the computer is-
And what purpose do you have? That
I-
you don't need to be obsolete very often. Like my first computer went obsolete now because we cannot do very much with that computer. The programs coming
The
out.
requirements for other software and hardware both are much higher than what that
Mhm.
computer was
Mhm.
doing at. Yeah.
At the time we bought it, that was a very wonderful thing.
It was top quality at the time. And it just shows you how fast we are progressing.
Technology is progressing very quick, and we used to have a CD-ROM. What CD stand for, Imran?
Compact disc.
Compact disc. It used to be single speed, double speed. Now they went up to 20 speed, 20 times.
But
They can process the data 20 times faster than what
we were going to purchase a 20-speed CD-ROM, but I found out that they don't run at 20 speed all the time. They fluctuate. They run normally at let's see, what is it, 14 or 15 speed, and on certain data applications they
The speed
run up to 20.
not necessarily means how fast it's rotating. The speed
Yeah.
means transfer
the data
information.
transfer rate.
Data transfer rate is just it's tremendous amount.
Sometimes it'll transfer data faster with certain applications, faster than others. But
That's what it is. CD.
see, our other CD-ROM in the other computer is 4-speed, and now this new one we got is 16-speed.
So it's more like
It's gonna transfer data a lot faster. Just like when you go to buy a hard drive, you look at the data transfer rate in milliseconds, and obviously the one with the data transfer rate of less time is gonna be faster. I can't get sim very easily, so I'm gonna use this.
So now, first was like a trial fit. Now we are trying to make a permanent fix.
Yeah,
Imran worked last night till 11 o'clock.
or later.
11:30.
Yeah. So.
Put this all together. Amazing thing is that computer people think it's a very, very difficult thing. Yeah, it could be difficult sometimes, but it's a lot more fun, and as you go, it teaches you itself the whole process, how the thing works here. And I never had any class on it, I never had any education on it, but by putting things together and by learning all this with Imran, I have gained a great deal of knowledge in computer.
That's one reason why I wanted to put it together instead of buying a system that was just already put
Yeah.
together. Because
The system
you don't
he
learn
is-
as much.
Yeah. The system he is put together is a specification of what? Processing is 200 megahertz.
200 megahertz MMX technology.
Yeah.
Fastest not fastest, but
64.
64 megs of RAM.
RAM. RAM is called random access memory, and your
When you open a file,
motherboard is the key thing. You know, when you put together.
when you access a file or open a file or anything, the file is stored in RAM. And
I have shopped for the same, a little less the capacity wise. The computer was over $2,500, and now we went and shopped and bought all the components, the top quality components on it.
for about 2,200 or less, a
Yeah,
little bit less.
yeah, 2,200. So we saved around like a over $300 to $400 by putting all together. And then plus we're gonna be knowing it what we have.
Yeah,
You know.
we know exactly what we have and how it's put together and everything.
Yeah.
So not only do we have a better system, more custom wise, and we know exactly what's going on, and we know what it's doing, and
Yeah.
what can go wrong. Okay, now.
But sometimes well, while you running the program, all of a sudden something pops up on your screen, and you don't know what
Yeah.
that's significant. Now we know what is where what. That's the very way. Yeah.
Very important
Yeah.
that you know what's going on. Because, for one thing, if you don't know what's going on and you go to computer specialists and they diagnose the problem and they go and they fix it for you, and you end up spending a whole lot of money for something you could have done at home if you knew what was going on with your computer.
Tell them the experience what you did in last summer.
Oh, last summer I was in a mechanical drafting class at the high school, and one of the computers was broken. There was a lack of computers in the room, so I couldn't get my work done, and there was a computer sitting in the corner that was broken, they said. But although that's not true, because it's very hard to break a computer. It was damaged. The hard drive was corrupted, and a couple other things were wrong with it. Some parts were bad. So what I did, I went and there was two computers broken down. They had about the same problem. So I replaced the hard drive in one, and basically stripped down one computer and put all the good components into the other computer, and I got that computer running again after a little while. And that helped me with this, because before I hardly knew what was in a computer. And after that experience, now I know a good deal about it. Well, right now I'm gonna hook in the hard drive. So, hard drives, plural. My friend gave me a 170 megabyte hard drive with a programming language on it, so I can use that.
I thought you can transfer that in some of the diskettes, and I could have got it clean, that one, purged the whole file, the hard drive, and I could have put it into my smaller computer, and I could have given you a smaller one drive to do that here, completely purged with.
Oh, but Borland C++ is a 30 megabyte program itself.
You needed what, 30 diskettes in it?
Yeah.
No, not
Just
30, 1.44. So
it's about
They
18 to 20 discs
Yeah.
itself. And plus, I mean, we have at least 90 megabytes of used space on that hard drive, and that's going to be about 80 discs, 80, 70, something like that. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how I determined which way this went. Oh, there's the notch. Okay, I didn't see that. Yeah.
I wish you could find some cable ribbon clips which can make the assembly look very neat and clean. Okay, let me pause there for a moment. Okay? So I might want to put this.
Alright, that's pretty good. Now we have this right here. Okay. So we'll open
How come it's not stopping?
second it'll start again.
Started.
I'm adding some mounting to the hard drive, so it won't tilt. Not the hard drive, the 3.5 drive.
What? I'm gonna put you in a good bag. I have a big sack. I'm gonna put you in that one. You're gonna be kicking and giving, and I'll hand you that over here. Yeah, I'll take a stick and hand you that part.
Put him in a straight jacket.
Okay? Where did you go? You been putting your finger back on the car? I just saw that.
Okay.
I saw that. Putting the car.
I'm gonna go back and tighten all the screws now.
Don't get smart, okay? Hear me? I saw your little finger over there. You don't touch the car again. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay? That was the same time, right? Where do you go? I saw you put your finger on the green one. Right? Weren't you? There's not enough light here.
It's like all day. Well, I tried to change this. Sometimes things are just on, some things are on your mind so heavily that you
Okay.
can't even think of anything else.
Okay, I'm looking for a cable right now. There it is.
You got all the
She
things.
picked that up yesterday. Christina.
Oh, yeah.
She hooked that totally up, and that was really aggravating me.
Mama, I got today. I was okay. I don't know. Like that.
You know, you can use those clips here.
Oh, that's right. What?
See this clip? No.
Front clip. That's where 5 recorders.
But I'll wait. I'm not okay with it.
You want to bring 5/4 for the rent?
Yes, I was going to.
Go get it and put it in.
But I don't know if there's a free thing for the power supply.
They have one for 5/4. We had it here.
I don't think that fits. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, because it doesn't fit. It takes one of these. I remember.
You don't have.
Yeah, I could do better.
But what about from here?
What?
You can take the power it from here.
You have to put power into here and it comes out here. So,
You can put a 5/4?
I was gonna try, but there's no. I think they should make the power supplies fit the maximum capacity of the case, but they don't.
You can.
Oh, watch. Wait, wait. See, they don't go in this way. They don't fit. They only go in one way.
No, what I was saying. You know, don't clip it in. Don't clip it in. No. First, get this one here. Okay, have it loose. Okay. Get this part first.
When you put data cables into the drives, you have to make sure that the pins are aligned. Otherwise, you can get a data transfer error, and the data that you're sending or receiving or whatever won't transfer right at all. And in this case, well, I tried it yesterday and I had a cable backwards, and it wouldn't start up at all. The computer, it wouldn't start because it was reading the disk I was trying to boot off of wrong.
Summer,
What?
how come you didn't realize that you had to do this thing first? Why do you have to go back and forth so many times?
I forgot.
Huh?
It was in my backpack all day and I had forgotten about it. Well, luckily though, see, I had to go and get gas anyway, and so I was gonna pass by that.
This is a lot neater here now. It still looks kind of messy, but better. Oh, yeah.
You got all the jumpers in?
Yeah,
Somebody
there's
will
only
be
two.
calling me from Togo's. Okay? Sorry.
What?
Somebody's gonna call me from Togo's.
Who's that?
Alright.
Because I just applied for the job there. And they're all, okay, we'll call you. Because they remembered me from yesterday. I was like, yes.
Huh?
Cool. They remembered me from yesterday giving an application. I turned it in the next day. I did it last night in like 2 minutes. Don't worry.
Who else worked there?
I don't know anybody that works there. I walked in with a whole bunch of strangers.
How come you didn't try the movie calendar?
Because in Ray calendars, yeah, you can only be a host.
What of the front?
Yeah, front.
Yeah.
And they're not hiring. I know it because my friend works there. And my friends, there's like a whole bunch of people that constantly
Who's
ask
gonna
me,
take you back and forth? That's the problem.
"What is the street?"
Alright, I think we're done.
And if I get my license, I can do it
Just
myself.
make sure.
Sure. Getting a car.
I could pay for it. Hey, why is the screen door open?
Screen doors open?
Yeah, perfectly enough for Graver to fit through.
And she's out there.
It's out there.
This whole video camera is it's recording everything I've been saying.
Time for another
Don't you think
intermission
that?
with Graybo.
Grable is cute,
Don't move it.
Don't move the
but
camera.
she smells.
It was she out there. She's so cute.
Here is Grable.
Down more. Oh, okay, right there. Cute! Look at that. Squeeze it. Make her look it up. Make her look up. Okay, she's like, I don't like. She's like, okay, no, down more. Aw, cute! Very kitty.
That was great.
What else do you need?
She is cute.
Are you still
Pack it up and put the external devices on.
Now you can see. Unit is almost ready here, huh?
Yep.
We put all those little jumper cables which connect to the front switches called turbo. and
Well,
then power.
This motherboard doesn't need turbo. It doesn't support it.
Grable
So.
is cute.
That should be it. Just be able to
Let's
back
put
up.
the back cover on it very carefully.
What'd you do, Imran?
We organized it
Oh,
and fixed that one cable.
yeah. That's what I figured you'd be doing.
Okay. Before we get to that point, final point,
When are we getting in the scanner and the printer?
Sometime.
let's just try it out for a minute for the complete system
Yeah.
before you pack it up.
Alright, this should boot off of disk.
And let's hook it up. Maybe somebody wanna hold the camera a little bit.
Me? How do you get it off the
Oh
single?
no, I'll just bring the monitor over. Don't worry about it. I'll just bring the monitor over. And if it doesn't start up, then I'll just have to open it back up and jiggle a couple parts. No big deal.
Where's the keyboard?
Oh, it's in the box.
I'm doing this just so that the camera will focus. It's neat to watch.
Okay. This is 109
That was
Okay,
cool.
so
keyboard, which is
Ooh,
included.
Grable. How cute.
Mouse thing. You don't have to have a mouse.
It's finger touch mouse pad.
Yeah.
Fingertip. That's it. You need this kit here, man.
The
No,
Wave
not yet.
190 key keyboard.
Okay.
Here. Use this box.
Ooh, pink and
Support
green
that.
cables. How pretty.
Where do we put these in?
Back
For
of
the
the
Yeah.
monitor?
Just go ahead.
Alright,
top, that one.
I'm gonna move this. I'm
Back
gonna move this over here.
into me, baby.
And I'm gonna move the monitor right here.
Oh.
So tell me when you can see the screen.
Back. Back. Back.
Wait a second, I have an idea. How's
Okay,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
It's crooked though. Turn it to your right.
Second.
Yeah, we're ready to
Turn it
do
to
the
right,
opening ceremony on our computer.
Daddy. Turn it to the right, Daddy. Don't press on it.
Imran, you're gonna mess it up, my box.
Turn it, please.
It's okay.
Can you still see it?
Yeah. Put it up more though. No, it doesn't go up back anymore, Daddy.
No,
You're
you're
gonna mess
it
it up.
No, you won't mess it up.
I'm gonna turn the light off.
No, it's okay.
Otherwise there's a glare.
Yeah.
Okay, first I'm gonna hook it on the cables.
Can't really tell because you can't even see this thing. I bet we sound so stupid in this thing.
Okay, this is on.
Alright, it's not working.
Stupid. What a word.
What do you? I didn't have any lunch today.
Why not?
Nobody made me lunch.
I couldn't make you lunch. I was at school.
Yeah, I got you. Your
Why didn't you go get yourself
Alright,
something?
now.
Who wants macaroni and cheese?
I
Macaroni.
do. Alright, I'm gonna pop a disc in here.
Nothing.
Okay, power is on.
Turn on the
Okay,
monitor.
The hard drive,
Oh.
the turbo.
Alright, yeah, it's doing that thing right now. Where it's not recognizing the VGA card. Yeah, this happens when you move around parts on the inside. It won't start up properly. So I have to power it back down
Do it again.
and open it back up, jiggle around a couple parts, and it should work.
Daddy, can I go outside for a little while?
I'm gonna leave this off.
Do you deserve it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, be quiet now, please. You can't see what you're doing
I'm
wrong.
not telling you
I'm just
rudely.
moving around some
I'm just
parts.
asking.
If it's gonna happen again?
No, if you won't lock me out.
No, you can take off without my permission?
No.
Okay.
So can I go outside? So can I go?
Come on, go ahead. Okay. It's on.
No, it's not going yet. Okay, what is that?
Huh?
Parts. Pull this one up. So I can read it.
So we don't have to record this. I don't want to fix this.
I don't know exactly how to fix this, but it usually it just happens.
Summer. Hello.
It does this eventually.
Hello. Hello.
Summer, Melissa at the door.
It's not going yet.
Hello.
Okay, let's see.
Where's the straight to?
This. I have to make sure you pull the power cables out or you might get electrocuted. And that's not fun. See the monitor flash.
What?
It should work now. It
Can't
should.
come to the door, I'm videotaping.
I don't know for sure.
I'm taping!
When can you come?
After they're done.
No, you need to plug back in, Imran.
Yeah.
And what about this jump?
What about what?
Yeah, someone's helping his dad and another video tape.
Stand up doing.
Is it getting retarded, Imran?
Yeah.
Stuff the
Oh, it's
copies.
hardly even in there.
Summer,
Huh?
you gonna call her or what?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's this slot. It's too far.
Summer, can you see that?
Yeah.
Don't sit on the table.
See the monitor flash when I do that. The monitor is basically discharging static electricity. Oh,
Oh, no wonder.
it's got
What was it? Shaved
a
out?
piece
or-
of cardboard.
Hmm.
I'm gonna bring the motherboard up a little bit.
It was just sitting there, or just was?
It wasn't in all the way at all. This should be a better
bottom
connection.
of the screen. Fix your eyes on the bottom
Imran,
of the
we
screen.
didn't figure out what is this for.
Something interesting.
I don't know. Ow.
Follow dancing wall. Two.
No, you know what?
Boink, boink, Imran said. Boink. Ooh, there's Daddy.
Here we go.
Right there, that's Daddy. Boink, 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 boink. How to run. Boink, boink, boink. Daddy. Daddy. Run, Daddy. They run, Daddy. They run.
It's that PCI slot. I need to rearrange stuff
They
again.
run.
Hmm?
I need to put it back on PCI slot number 1.
Okay.
So,
Cute.
I don't know what else I can do.
Come on, Beamish boy. Oops.
Hot here. The way your post sits in the back and round,
What goes?
on the motherboard, on the chassis, I'm not too fond of it.
How does it sit in there?
Yeah, it's not all the way in the post.
Okay. I'll see if we can take care of that in a second. Alright, this cables are gonna have to go around it.
Go ahead.
So I don't know what else I can do.
Who is it?
Huh? It's her, I think.
Ah. Hold this.
What?
You told Ray that some guy's gonna go see some tools or something at 6 o'clock tonight?
Yeah.
Well, he wants to call the guy and he's just waiting to know what.
Sure. Go ahead.
So,
That's the only time he has, you know. I have not very much choice.
okay, sure,
Okay, before you put a final assembly in, I'll just test it out.
Well, I have to get all the cables in first.
So you're gonna start.
This is much more organized than it was.
Imran, when's the band banquet?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Alright. Okay, now this should work.
Okay. Got it. Power.
Daddy, you're in front of boyfriend.
Hey, wait.
Well, you
Yeah.
can wait a little while,
It automatically comes on the screen.
because it's fast.
Oh, it's
You have to remember, Imran, it's a different monitor, too.
no. I was using it yesterday.
Hmm.
When
What?
it starts to read the
The
hard
guy's
drive.
coming from Studebaker in Florence and Downey. Would it be better for him to come here first?
It doesn't matter. Well, whatever is
No,
easy for
that
Ray.
it'd take him about half an hour to get here, whatever he said.
Okay.
So, will you think that's better for him to go a different direction?
Alright. Let's see.
So let me come out.
Yeah, come on.
Why is it
Alright.
not going?
Just wait a little while. Don't.
Let's say it's
That
busy.
looks so cute.
Look.
Is the connection in the back?
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Imran? Are you sure the cables are all connected?
Yes, they all are. The monitor, and the keyboard, and the power. That's all you need. What else is there?
Water polo.
Yeah, I'm trying like this. Oh well, I don't understand what's wrong with it.
Oops. Oops. Dane got in today. Interesting, huh? I think it is. After having your appendix out, yes. That would be interesting.
Somehow it feels not to have that little empty spot in your stuff.
No, you wouldn't feel it, I bet. You can't even see his scar. Every guy is so jealous of him. He's like the perfect person. He's like all godly and everything, you know? Like freshman and sophomore year, he thought he was all bad, and now this year he's all Jesus, yay.
Look at that.
You know, he's got the religion going, and he's got his looks going. He's a nice person. He's like perfect. Oh, we found his flaw. He has too much hair under his armpits.
This is all going on camera.
You're not listening to me, are you?
So,
Did you hear that?
come on.
Sounds like it's thinking.
Well, it is. It's just not showing anything on here.
Maybe it just takes a little while to get used to it. Yes.
The busy level, huh?
Change first. Is it the CD-ROM that's doing that?
Yeah, this is a CD-ROM.
No. Take it out and see if the computer works.
Although I noticed adjustments like those do help.
I want raisin. Don't you? I want raisin right now. I will SCSI motherboard. What about it? What's wrong with our computer? Did we have problems like this with our first computer?
We didn't assemble our first computer.
Well, still. Did we have
It
anything?
it automatically worked because it was done at the place.
You know, I have a feeling that Fry's runs a real schmuck business.
I don't think they do.
Like, they give you bad parts and stuff.
No, these aren't bad parts.
Are you sure?
Very good parts.
Are you sure
No, they're not that much of schmucks. Not a schmuck. Give me the book.
Bad.
No, that was the other book.
Don't
Here it is.
totally. I will. Do you want me to try this on the camera?
Huh?
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
with the camera. It's like, I don't know. It's retarded. The camera's retarded. So we're gonna turn it off.
Well, I found out what was wrong with the thing. There was a jumper on the inside that was set to the wrong setting.
Oh, really?
I'm talking to the camera. And so I fooled around with it and I moved some jumpers around, and I got our 200 megahertz processor running at 210 megahertz. So there we go. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see. But you can see it right down there where it says AMD K6 PR2. Well, there we go.
You know what, let's see, okay, if you have a salad, and tortilla with some pepperoni.
And I got rid of the SCSI port failure. So now it says missing operating system, so I have to configure the system again. So well, that's it for now.